You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
And welcome to another TADPOG podcast.
Why do you sound so spooky, Tyler?
Well, these three old mummies, they're going to talk about an old game and movie about a vampire.
Whoa.
Oh, Bram Stoker's Dracula has risen on the podcast. But before we take a bite into it, what have you fellows been up to?
Well, we've achieved a whole level of cheesy tonight,
Something to sink our teeth into.
right out of the gate.
Sounded like a Snick promo.
Right around Halloween.
Yeah.
Roundhouse at 8 o'clock.
Get ready for the spookiest
Eastern, 7
roundhouse
Central.
ever.
I don't know. It seems kind of scary. I might turn in early.
Orange couch, lightning behind it.
Oh, what a week. I have got some stuff, if y'all are interested in hearing about it.
Of course.
That's why I asked.
Having never watched the actual anime of One Piece, I started and finished the live-action One Piece on Netflix.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you started it and that it was seemed pretty good.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Now, I don't know how well it lines up with the anime. I have a feeling it's pretty decently close.
I've heard it's a good adaptation.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen either, but
Well, I really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed it a whole bunch. It was a treat for me. I really had a good time watching it, and it's on Netflix. If you're interested, I highly recommend it. 4 stars. Wisdom Sage says, check it out. On that same vein, I also watched Avatar.
that same vein.
I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, the live-action version, which, as anyone who's listened to the show for any recent length of time knows, that was my first sort of foray, Tyler, on your
a good one.
recommendation into the anime world. So far, I got through season 1. It's like 8 or 9 episodes. So far, it's really on the money.
I've heard,
They're
with the exception of Boomy, like that people feel like they did Boomy dirty. But other than that it was pretty good.
Which one is Boomy?
The Earth old.
He's the one who talks. You can't understand him.
No, really. Who's Boomy?
The Earth Lord, the old Earth Lord.
Oh,
who
right.
was like
I was
Aang's
spelling
friend
it
as a
wrong
kid.
in my head. The king of
Ba Sing Se.
No, it's not Ba Sing Se. It's Osama or Oshama or Oshamu or something.
Osama, where? My God.
No, we found that guy.
I got him.
We got him. We got him, folks. But
Maybe.
they did
Maybe.
sort of. That
Didn't
was
make it back here.
That was a little bit of a divergence, and what was neat about the story was, in the cartoon they find it opens with them finding Aang in the ice. In this, they actually open with what happened to trap Aang into the ice.
Okay.
Which is a neat little thing to add in there.
Yeah.
And it's basically following the story. The casting is spot on. Everyone that they picked to be the characters that they are playing was the right choice. Particularly, Sokka's always been my favorite. I was nervous about Sokka, about the casting for that. The guy they got to be him in the show, doing a great job. The first season only covers up to the attack by the Fire Kingdom on the Water Kingdom, the Northern Water Tribe, and then it stops. They've said season 2 and 3 are coming. they're guaranteed. We'll see. We know how Netflix
And that was
can
closely
be.
into book one when they were on the boat.
Yeah, and there was a lot of stuff I think that they had to sort of gloss over and hurry through, but nothing mission critical. They've stayed true to the form, in my opinion. I think it's a really good adaptation. I enjoyed it a great deal.
But Daniel Day Kim is Ozai.
Yes.
Okay, so I read that he has been in every iteration.
Oh, is that
he's
right?
Ozai in the live action. He was, I forget who he was the voice of in anime, and in the shitty M. Night Shyamalan movie, he was also in.
Oh, was that right? I did not know that.
You can't have an Avatar without Daniel Day Kim.
Well, he is an excellent Ozai.
Or Jen from Lost, for anybody else who doesn't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I do now.
Azula. Perfect. I think they did a really good job.
That'd be a hard one to cast.
Casting Azula. At first, you think this girl's not nearly ruthless enough. You know, you kind of get the impression now she's not going to be as cutthroat and ruthless, and then she proves that theory wrong. She's really living up to the Azula.
How is Iroh? Iroh being the most important character.
Spot fucking on.
Okay, love it.
Really enjoy Uncle Iroh.
They better do Leaves in the Grass. They better fucking do it.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I can tell you so far they've done a good job. We haven't met Toph yet
Leaves in the
because
Grass, Leaves in the Wind. His song to his son. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think they've done that yet.
Yeah, they better.
But they do make reference to his son a lot, and you know. But we haven't met Toph yet because they have not gotten to Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, that's like way later on.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that goes and who they cast to play Toph and everything else. But anyway, once again, I got to give this one also a 4-star rating. Wisdom Sage says check it out. Even if you aren't into Avatar, if you don't know anything about it, this is a good one to watch to give you the broad strokes. And if you really like it, then it could, warrant jumping into the anime and watching the show from the Nickelodeon show from back in the day. But yeah, I liked it a lot.
It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. All episodes available right now. It goes pretty quick. They're about an hour each. But hopefully they'll get that next season out soon and get that done, because I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also looking extremely forward to the next season of One Piece. I want that to be out soon too, because I was surprised at how much I liked that one. So continuing with some stuff. The Overwatch Cowboy Bebop crossover is tomorrow or a week ago, depending on when you're hearing this. They dropped a trailer for it. It's been in the Discord. I think Big Dick Pie Baker posted it.
I saw that.
And he scooped me hard on it. I was just in the wrong channel. I was like posting it to be all cool, like a couple of days ago or a few days ago, like, hey, there's a teaser trailer for the Cowboy Bebop crossover.
I saw that. I saw you post.
Yeah, I posted it in general. He had already posted it like 4 hours earlier in the new video game section, which I always forget about. But I don't care. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So anyway, that's tomorrow. We found out who's who.
316.
Ash is going to be Faye. Of course, Cassidy is going to be Spike. Dave, you called it. Hammond, Wrecking Ball is going to be Ein, and Sombra is going to be Ed. And so it looks really good. The skins look really cool, and I'm definitely going to buy them because I'm terrible with money, and I don't make good choices.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. There's that. And then I've read a little thing today, or I saw a little thing today on YouTube that Multiversus is coming back.
Oh, no shit.
The final, that apparently, what we were in before was a beta.
I don't believe it. I believe that you saw this.
No, it's real. It is. I'm shocked myself.
The same developer and publisher was like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, they were like,
Thanks for testing everybody. This sure has
beta.
been fun, hasn't it?
And we thought, we all thought, well,
All right, we finished it.
that's a done deal.
We made all the money.
Coming back May 28th. We listened to player feedback. We're making the needed adjustments, and we're launching it for real in May.
It's so stupid.
A year later.
It's so stupid. Why not make the changes? I don't know.
I don't
when
know.
They were being suggested.
I don't know what the fucking
I
deal
wanna know
is.
the story. I do.
Maybe the go away and come back thing was what they were gambling on. That okay, remember? Hey guys, remember Multiverses? And
Yeah,
how
make
awesome
a
that was?
splash. Remember, it's me, your old pal, Multiverses.
Yeah, I'm back in Pog form.
Remember Gizmo and his little car?
God. Hey, all
like
you
that.
Shaggy spammers, we've nerfed the fuck out of him. So you can't just spam Shaggy's powerful attacks all day long.
Did they specifically?
Oh, I
mention
don't.
Shaggy?
I don't
okay.
know. I didn't have the ability to watch the whole thing. I saw it and caught the bullet points from the preview
Yeah.
of YouTube, but I didn't get a chance to actually watch it.
All right. Well, now I'm curious. I mean, I put a good amount of time into
Same.
that. I would be certainly
If it's
interested in seeing what it's like.
if they've made some legitimately decent improvements, I
Yeah.
will give it a try.
and I thought it was kind of fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
it just
so
got to
weird.
that point where the only people playing were wonderkins, that were just impossible to play against for whatever reason.
Or at least that's how it felt for
Yeah, it
sure.
did.
And that might be, I don't know what they're fixing is that feeling. I don't know.
Could be.
Because the matchmaking,
it was bad. But when you only have 14 people to matchmake against, your pool is going to be very shallow.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we'll
That's-
see how Multiverses
I
plays
did
out.
not expect to hear that news.
I didn't either. And then finally, I finished Wolves of the Calla,
Nice.
and I'm about all but 3 hours through Song of Susanna. I've almost finished it.
Man, that one, yeah, it goes by super
It goes
fast.
by super fast. I remembered the thing. It was Song of Susanna. I remember me saying that there was the only thing I remembered from it was either going to be Song of Susanna or The Dark Tower 7 that stuck with me. And it was like the only thing I remembered. And it remains the only. I had completely forgotten about the whole Stephen King part.
Yeah.
I don't think I read this book. I think I may have been super drunk when I read it and just
I would have also tried to forget about
didn't retain. Yeah, it's whatever.
I also don't. I
it's
don't.
fucking
like
whatever.
Dave, you said I don't care for that kind of thing. You didn't care for that thing, and I didn't care for. Yeah, I didn't care for that thing.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I'm ready to get into it if you guys are, but I haven't finished. You're probably about caught up with me, just about. You're 3 hours out from finishing Song
Give or
of Susanna.
take.
You're about 6 hours from where I am because I haven't made a lot of. I've really enjoyed The Dark Tower so far, book 7, but I haven't made really good progress on it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we will get into it. And these are some things that we'll have to remember to bring up. But
Yeah.
I'm literally on that part right now, and I was like, God.
But
Okay.
the end of Song of Susanna, the very, very end, gave me hope
Okay.
on that thing that you're talking about.
And I remember it couldn't have bothered me that much the first time around because I literally don't remember one bit of Song of Susanna, except this is how I know I read the book because I remember the part where she and Mia are in New York in 1999, and they glamour this Swedish guy
Yeah.
with the little turtle.
Yeah.
And her payment to him is because he mentions that his bowels were regular again, and he
Right.
was very happy about that.
Right.
Now her payment to him was now every day at your time you will go, and you will go completely, and if you can't for some reason, just say Maturin, and you'll be fine until the next day. I remembered that like I had read it yesterday. It stuck with me because I thought, what a thoughtful gift to give someone.
Yep.
Bowel regularity.
Yeah.
That means King was struggling with it half the time of the writing.
Exactly. He was just hoping. He'd said Maturin too many times, and now he was stopped up and constipated, I guess. But anyway.
So I was at the part in Wizard and Glass, because I'm almost done with it, at the part where Susan's like, what does charcuterie mean? Oh. And then I've stopped right there. So.
Well, I've decided that Susanna and that whole thing is my least favorite part of this series. I don't care for her character. And I don't know if it's because it's a white dude writing a black woman from the 60s that happens to be an amputee and also happens to suffer from multiple personalities. I don't know if it's because of the white dudes reading that aloud for the audiobook that makes it less meaningful to me. It makes it almost irritating. But I feel like some of the repetition that Stephen King is known for, most of it in these books exist within her story, and it irritates me a little bit. And I think that I always think about in movies where things are going wrong, someone always gets pregnant, like in The Walking Dead. Oh, she's pregnant. Now we've got to deal with that. That's the kind of go-to.
That's the layer of complication.
Yeah, always. Almost always. And I thought...
You're on the island and lost. What's going to happen? Oh, wait, this girl is pregnant, by the way.
She's pregnant. Yeah. We got a complication, and it's always that. And I feel like where this is going and the way that they explained her pregnancy kind of sealed the deal for me that there was a lot that could have been left out, and it still have been an effective story. It's just, for me, I'm not particularly fond of Detta, Odetta, Susanna, Mia. It's just not my... I don't like the way she's written. I believe that her character is important, and her part in Wolves of the Calla with the sisters... That was badass. And when she's fighting and when she's showing, doing what she's supposed to be doing and slinging guns, that's fucking great. I love that shit. I do not like the way she's written for most of her character. And I think it's just the fact that I don't know how much research Stephen King did. I don't know who he consulted. And if Detta is just supposed to be Susanna, Detta, Odetta are supposed to be caricatures.
I think that's what I took away from it, because there's a point in, I think it's the drawing of the three, where it's like, because it was bothering me too. I was like, holy shit, this is like pretty fucking racist.
It's offensive.
Isn't it? And then like there's something in the drawing of the three that is along the lines of, someone says something to her, I can't remember what, something happens where it's like, they're not even talking like a real person. You're talking like a stereotype from like a bad movie or something.
Yeah, because yes,
like if I
Susanna
feel like
even calls Detta the trumped up version or the fake version. That
So I feel like that's just one of those, because reading the Dark Tower series, there have been several things that have been like, this bothers me, but I don't know anything about like his writing process for the Dark Tower. I don't know anything about that. But
you didn't read it. You didn't read it in Song of Susanna. He explains the whole process. Oh, so you see,
I know he sees into the other world, right?
The gunslinger and Eddie.
Oh, right. They come right, yeah.
Then he gets hypnotized,
I don't want to. Do not want.
That's his process.
Yeah.
No,
but I do think that there have been several moments in the Dark Tower series where it has been like, oh, I don't care for that. But then he like explains it away. And then he's like rolling with the fucking shell. And I'm like, oh, okay,
he's famous for explaining it away. It can be anything.
Hey, I just put something together. The bullet the bullet shell and
Yeah.
the turtle shell.
Yes.
Hypnotizing.
Hey. He is good at that.
Yeah.
He is good, and because I think a lot of times, and I'm no scholar of Stephen King, I can't speak to his. I don't study the man's work. I don't study his process. I'm not in a fan club. I know enough to be able to enjoy his work and to appreciate his work. And for the most part, I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, though, even he knows what he's putting down is utter bullshit. And rather than leaving it out, because he believes that the stories come through him, not from him. And I know that to be true. I've known that about him for years. And that's fine if that's your process. But I think that most of what he puts, when he puts some bullshit down there, he won't take it out. He just has to make sure he writes in a justification or an explanation. And I feel like it's like we always say, the funniest jokes are the ones you have to explain. I feel like if you've got to get to that point, then maybe it's not necessary to be in there in the first place. I
get that. But there are also things like in the Dark Tower series so far where it's been like, I totally buy it. I've never read a series of books where there have been so many coincidences,
right,
and Deus Ex Machina, but it's all because he explains it in the way that he does. I get it, I understand what you're saying. But,
no, I'm with you.
But I feel like he does it in a way where it's like, I see what's going on, but I'm enjoying the ride, and because I'm enjoying the ride, I want to go along with it. I don't want to push back against it. So I don't know. I think that's a lot of it for me. Because if this were I feel like if it weren't done the right way, it would just come across as like, oh, okay, yeah, well, of course, 19.
Oh, yet another MacGuffin. Oh, I have a magic turtle in my bag that I can suddenly hypnotize people
that's
with.
Convenient,
Yeah,
but
it is convenient.
It is, but the way the story is told, I feel like I go with it because
and he does a good job of
I have
that.
my own theory as to some of that, which requires you to finish the book first.
I'm working on it.
So I'm just saying I want to talk about it, but I do. I'm going to put a pin in what I want to talk about eventually.
Yeah.
Where I do have what I feel like is a working theory about.
Well,
some of that.
his it doesn't mean that I have less love for this series, and it's no less important to me. It's just now that I'm reading it at my age now versus when I was a young optimist, I'm more pragmatic now, and I look at things it's easier for me to spot some of the what I consider to be some of the rough spots personally for me than it would have been back then, because I was obviously just going through it too fast. I was reading it so fast, and one of the reasons I use audiobooks is because I have always had a bit of a reading disability, a comprehension problem, where I have to reread things all over and over and over again. But sometimes if I'm enjoying it, it might as well be, several words in front of me in that moment streaming through, and I'm just reading it and I'm not retaining anything that's over here. And so I think that's why I forgot a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because I was so eager and so wanting to move on to the next and the next and the next that I wasn't taking the time to soak it up. So now, even in Stephen King's epilogue of Wolves of the Calla, he talks about Frank Muller and the accident that's made him unable to continue reading the books.
Yeah.
Which was sweet, by the way, because he said he said all the money from that book was going to go into this foundation and to help him pay his medical bills and stuff. And but he was talking about how he would use the audiobooks as a way to prepare himself to write the next book, because audio forces you to pay attention. Audio forces you to hear every word. You're not skimming. You're not flipping through. You're not skipping to the end. You've got a linear path you're going to follow.
I see when I was listening to that, I was thinking, he doesn't have a cell phone.
True. Well, he referred to the tapes. He referred to the stacks of audiobook tapes.
Because I heard that. I was like, there have been plenty of times I've been listening to the book and also fucking around on my phone and been like,
what just happened?
Wait,
Yeah.
what? There'll be a big
I think
reveal.
he means in the way that when you're listening, right?
You had to go to
And
the
you're-
Cracker Barrel and borrow the tapes and then return them at the next Cracker Barrel.
Right.
So you pay attention.
But it was that has helped me listening to these in audio form to sort of ground myself a little bit and be able to look at it from a bit more of a realistic viewpoint, and not to its detriment, but more to my enjoyment, knowing what about it I like and what about it I don't like, as opposed to saying I just love it all. I can pick out things. I'm like, well, I wasn't terribly fond of this, or I didn't care for that. But as a whole, it doesn't hurt my enjoyment nor its meaning to me in my life.
I know listeners to this show that are like that, so I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's been mixed for me too, but overall so far I've really enjoyed it. The 7th book threw me off because like I love how it starts and it's very exciting, but it's also one of those where it's like, and here's a bunch of new shit you've never fucking heard about
Right.
all at once, and it's like I get it, but it's also a little bit of it's like, man, it would have been, and maybe if I go back and re-listen, I'll catch things here and there. It's like, oh, the bird-headed people, okay, you know,
Right.
but I don't know.
I'm not gonna do that.
Maybe I won't. My first takeaway was like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I buy it.
Sure.
It's a little.
Yeah, it's your world, bro. Whatever, man.
But all of a sudden, it just seemed like all of a sudden it's like, here's a bunch of races. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
It's like, it was just humans, man. Now it's bah, 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 bah. And,
I watched Lord of the Rings yesterday, so here are a bunch of races.
yeah, I realized that I need.
Oh, and I drew a map. And in the audiobook, we're going to talk about the map.
I mean, but like I said, I was on board. It's like, there's a warthog guy. Sure, okay, all right.
Yeah. And so what I also realized was what I had forgotten about, and what I realized was that the movie, The Dark Tower, basically the reason it's as bad, well, there's several reasons for why it's as bad as it is. When you're finished, I would like for us to watch this movie.
Oh yeah, I want to watch it for sure.
But what it does, and it's easier for me to explain this to you now, and I hadn't realized this, but what it does is it takes basically this, when you find out in Wolves of the Calla what's going on in Thunderclap and why the kids are being taken, that shit is what the movie's about.
Okay.
From that point basically forward, the breakers and all that kind of stuff, that's really the whole thing.
Okay.
And there's little bits and pieces of the other books in there, but they really just kind of grabbed onto that. They're like, okay, how do we make a 2-hour movie about a 40,000 page epic novel?
Right.
Well, we could just do this part. Okay. Well,
What's the climax? We're going to do that.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, I'm interested to, I cannot wait for us to all be finished, caught up, and talk about this. But I also think as part of our homework, we need to watch that movie so we can dislike it as a group.
Okay.
So
Maybe I'll love it.
we might.
I doubt it.
There
but
are
maybe I
other
will.
worlds than these.
I also kind of feel like, so like a lot of people have been calling Wind Through the Keyhole.
Yeah.
Is that the name? Is that the title of the book?
Yes.
Like they have been straight up been calling it Dark Tower Book 8. So it makes me feel like, okay. I felt like before I felt like that's optional, but now I kind of feel like, okay, I probably need to read that
I'm
one
going to
too.
go through
Also,
that
I kinda
one again as well.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to have to do it again because I remember being excited, so much after the Dark Tower getting that.
Yeah.
And I burned through it super fast. I don't remember anything about it.
That's what
that's
happened to me.
happened
That's
to me.
exactly what happened to me with the last 2 books. So, anyway, That's what I got for the week. Dave, what are you up to, man?
I've been playing a new game called, let me make sure I'm saying it right. It's on Steam. It is a 2D strategy game called Ink Yulnati.
Oh, I've seen this.
It is, I got it on sale, like Fanatical. It's like a game store online. It had been on my like watch list for a minute because it's got a cool art style. It looks like medieval drawings.
Yep.
And like I like art history.
It's
so
on it's on the not Game Pass, but
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't say that it was on Game
I don't
Pass.
think it's on Game Pass.
That's
but
okay.
I
like playing it in bed, and I got it for cheap.
did see the promotional stuff for it. So.
It's a neat game. Yeah, it's a 2D strategy game that turn-based that is kind of set on the pages of like a medieval manuscript. Like it's in the margins where, historically there would be these crazy illustrations, know. So, and it's all done in that style. It's a pretty good representation of it. Your units are things like rabbit with spear, and cat bishop and stuff like that, and they're all done in that art style, and different animals have different traits. Like rabbits are pious; they always pray after their turn, so they'll gain like a halo, which grants them like +1 accuracy and stuff like that. The way the mechanics kind of work against each other is neat because like any unit that attacks a cat bishop is labeled a heretic. And so those who are holy will deal additional damage to heretics. It's cool. It's neat. I don't know how long exactly it is. I feel like I've been playing it for like 3 hours. It's got an extensive tutorial. I might not finish it, but it's something I can see myself picking up, putting down, picking up, putting down kind of deal. Yeah.
Nice.
I've been playing on the deck. It works okay, but you can tell that it was designed to be like mouse and keyboard. Yeah. Just for like selecting units and stuff. And I do feel like it probably would be smoother that way.
Touch screen. Does it have a touch screen interface thing that you can use?
Probably. I never mess with that. I probably should, but I never do. I feel weird touching that screen.
I know, I do too.
It's not like my phone. It's different.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
So I don't know what that is, but I played a little Baldur's Gate 3 with some cousins that I caught up with at the funeral, and
right.
Hopefully that was my first experience doing it multiplayer. We had someone in the group who was completely new to the game. That was fun. I stripped down like immediately. And then we just started making all the NPCs in the game naked. And then, so that was fun. I like that.
Can you just do that, or do you have to?
They made the NPCs naked, so I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you can just do it. You don't have to run like a mod or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made my guy naked because I thought it was funny. And then it turns out it is funny when everybody's naked and fucking
flopping around
during fights.
Greek style. All right.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not easy for a man to fight naked. That's what I've heard. Anyway.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, in the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yep.
So I tried that throwing barbarian build, but we didn't get far enough where I could like start doing feats and stuff. But I'd heard about a fun way to play it is to play a barbarian that takes the tavern brawler feat. So you just pick people up essentially and throw them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to play it eventually.
It's a good game. I haven't finished it. It's one of those where it's like, I don't know if I will or not. But I put a lot of time into it, and I don't mind I had this conversation with one of my cousins. It's like he's put way more time in it than I have, and it's just he'll play start a new character, want to play something, play a different character, I'll start a new character, play, then want to change again. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a legitimate way to play the game.
I've got it. I just haven't spent any real time with it. I've been meaning to, but life gets in the way.
It do be like that. Akira Toriyama died.
I heard.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I saw a really cool TikTok about that where it went through and showed all the different tributes that other anime creators and artists have put out there for him. I thought that was really neat.
There was a vigil in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the community does stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't like a Square Enix official thing,
right?
But I mean, I don't know. There's some pretty good communities in that game. Yeah, I've been playing that still. My crafters are just working on those boys, working on them jobs.
Oh yeah,
Slow going, but I mean, I haven't really put any money into it, which is nice. So just a lot of crafting jobs.
Yeah.
I'm doing them simultaneously so I don't have to juggle gear, you know. It's there's a lot of them.
God, I hated all that shit. Final Fantasy 11 mule characters and having to log in and out and send and fuck.
Yeah, you've got a pretty, I mean, compared to 11, 14 gives you a pretty expansive inventory.
Yeah.
So that helps, but I mean, it fills up, you know.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It fills up because there's like they give you more expansive inventory, but there's more stuff that you need, you know.
Because what all you had was like started off with 60 slots in 11.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
And then you had to buy more, upgrade your Mog house, get blah, 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 bigger bag, blah, blah, blah. Still not even remotely close to enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I've been feeling in 14, just because it's like I have so many crafting materials and so many like pieces of gear that I need. But whatever. It's been fun. They've got this cool system where it's like every day your grand company, which is kind of like a faction, will post a provision or supply that they need from each like crafting job. And if you craft it, you don't even have to craft it. If you just bring them that thing, you can buy it off the market board for all they care, you know. And some people sell that stuff, and you get a certain amount of XP and then bonus XP if it's HQ, and it's a cool system. That's how I've been doing it. It's probably super slow, but it's a manageable way to like, oh, let me check and see what the things are, and then I'll just make those things and turn them in and get, you know, a decent chunk of experience.
Yeah.
You turn some of that stuff in, and it's like, I gained like 3 levels in Culinarian from like 43 to 40, you know, 6.
Hell yeah,
just from one turn in. I mean, it's worth doing, I feel like. And apparently you can make a little money selling the stuff, you know, for that day.
right.
I haven't looked personally because
So,
I just
good.
make the stuff. I like making the stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. I mean, I watched Dracula, I played Dracula.
Yep.
Hell.
Yeah.
No. just hell.
See, I get the
Hell.
Hey,
Hell.
yep. So I did those things. What about you?
I started streaming Earthbound.
I saw that. Yeah,
that was
the no rocket.
No bottle rockets. Yeah. It's so far I'm enjoying it very much. Because Chris was still figuring out how to fix my save. It was time to stream, so I just streamed Earthbound, and then he fixed my Final Fantasy, and I was like, but I'm really enjoying Earthbound, so let's finish Earthbound, then we'll go back.
Yeah.
So I've just been doing trying to do one session per town, because my first session I did all of Onet.
Yeah.
Second stream all of Tucson. Next stream all of 3. Next stream all of Fourside. So making pretty good progress. So far, it's been nice not... Because I think I'm to the point where maybe I can get big bottle rockets. They're not really that... They're good, but they're not awesome till you get multi-bottle rockets. So once I hit Scaraba, where you would buy it, then I feel like it's going to be a very different game for me.
Yeah.
But still using no bottle rockets at all and trying to make sure I keep track of Jeff's IQ and what he can fix and what items. That's been interesting and fun. That's been very different. And of course, not grinding at all. I'm just playing through.
Yeah.
It's also, interesting. So, no, I'm really enjoying that. And that's about it. Besides work. So,
Yeah, work is work for sure.
yep. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to do something else? Or we want to do movie and game talk because I imagine, I don't know. We have a lot. I don't know how much to say about the game, but plenty to say about the movie.
Yeah, I got thoughts on that. We can get right to it if you want.
Or if we want to do a draft or something.
What do you think, man? It's your
Let
show.
me.
I'm just here for color commentary.
I'm cool with whatever. I mean, we can do a Beloved Adam had some good ideas for a lightning draft.
Yeah.
We could do that as a stinger,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Okay.
All right.
And then just get right into the game.
Sure.
Or movie.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take just a quick break,
Yep.
and then we'll be right back with part 2.
We'll be right back.
Here occurred the frightening and shocking history of Prince Dracula and the woman he loved.
I have crossed oceans of time to find you.
Ja, Dracula.
There's a sinister, darker side to him I find irresistible. I have never met any man with such a passion for life. He is unlike any man. What are you?
Vampires do exist. This one we fight, this one we face. Can take on many forms. He is both young and old. He can appear as mist, as vapor, as the fog. And he can vanish at will. The power of his evil desire has no end.
You've got to go to him, and you've got to love him.
She is a willing recruit and devoted disciple. She is the devil's concubine.
Join me in eternal life.
Your salvation is his destruction.
I want to be what you are. I want to see what you see. I want to love what you love. Take me away from all this death.
Make no mistake, he must be stopped.
And now for the game talk.
And the movie talk, which I feel like one is going to outweigh the other. What do you think?
Baby. So, Bram Stoker's Dracula. When did the movie come out?
1992.
92. So the game was 93.
Correct.
Okay. I had never seen this before.
I hadn't either.
I had
When did you see it originally?
in 1992.
Okay.
Did
so
you see it
were,
in the theater?
Yeah, fresh.
We saw it in the theater and have seen it several times off and on, not all the way through since then.
Okay. I feel like that's probably the best way to watch the movie is off and on, not all the way through.
Yeah, I have thoughts. I
Me
have
too.
thoughts.
What were your initial viewing walking out of the theater? You remember what you thought?
I couldn't get past some of the cringe. It's
cringe?
It's a little cringe at times. It's very stylized and dated, and it's like it's a period piece, but it's so 90s. It's sickening, and I seriously, at the time, I could not get past Keanu Reeves' terrible British accent.
I remember hearing that a lot as a kid. I remember hearing that complaint.
He gave it his best. I love Keanu, and I'm not gonna shit on anything. There's been some of the stuff that he's done that I haven't liked. That's okay, but that was the thing that I remembered being the most annoying.
I read an interview he did recently where he said that he and Winona Ryder are probably actually married and have been for 30 years now in the eyes of God, because they got married in a real church with a real priest that did the whole full real ceremony, everything. So he's like, probably in the Greek Orthodox God's eyes, we've been married for 30 years now.
Possibly. So for those of you that don't know, this is the 1992 Francis Ford Coppola telling of the classic tale of Dracula, as written
he
by.
was involved until the end credits, and I was like, "Really?"
Yeah. Yep. And it's
Is that Nick Cage's dad? He did this? Okay.
Which makes it so great that he plays Dracula in Renfield.
So I have a list.
Okay.
And it's one of my long countdown lists. So I feel like this is a good place to start.
Yeah,
yes,
we can,
perfect.
we can
Love it.
run with this.
It's been a minute.
So, Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 1992 Francis Ford Coppola take on Bram Stoker's definitive vampire story. Sure, we've seen it before, but have we seen it with an overzealous and quite thirsty Gary Oldman playing a vampire who occasionally looks more like a werewolf than a vampire?
Mm-hmm.
I think not.
Vidal Sassoon vampire.
So today's TADPOG totals include, but are not limited to, and take notes so we can discuss after, because I got to run with this. 9 breasts, 1 sentient shadow, 1 bad English accent, Keanu Reeves, 1 not quite as bad but still bad English accented Winona Ryder, 1 sheer nightgown with nothing under it, clad Winona Ryder running down steps against the wind. I highly recommend this part. 1 sheer nightgown with nothing under it, clad Winona Ryder submitting to a vampire. 1 fake Gary Oldman nipple. 1 razor-licking vampire, 1 insane asylum-bound legal assistant named Renfield, 1 Last Voyage of the Demeter. If you haven't seen the 2023 film of the same title, streaming now on Hulu, I highly recommend it. Do you, Kenneth? 1 Hopkins Van Helsing, 1 White Wolf, who is a very good boy, a hedge maze thunderstorm vampire rape, 1 late 19th century adult movie theater, a vampire cucking, 1 insane asylum doctor who will eventually go on to have aspirations of total world domination. This is played by Richard E. Grant in Hudson Hawk. He plays the villain in Hudson Hawk, and his big line is total world domination. 1 obligatory redheaded vampire concubine, top hats as far as the eye can see, blood vomit, iron stake kata, head chopped off kata, fire kata, and prison bar kata. That is my TADPOG totals list for Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Nice.
I got a hot take on this one.
Yeah.
I found myself actually really liking this movie upon this viewing.
Really?
I had been predisposed to hating it. I did sit and watch from beginning to end. And after taking away the known bugaboos that I had with it, the questionable accents and the cringe and the overly emotional shit, I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And it was nice to say that, because when you strip away some of the Titanic-esque garbage, it's not a bad movie. It's just... it was a little overly 90s for me. It was a little, they were trying too hard, and I think they didn't need to. They had a good story to work with, and they maybe could have toned down some of the cringe a little, but overall I did enjoy it this time, and that was a surprise to me after having hated on it for so many years.
Yeah.
For once in my life, I agree with Roger Ebert for the reasons why I liked it and then some. And I'm giving it a solid 3 stars. Wiz and Sage says, check it out.
I'm surprised.
Yep, I am too. I was too.
I thought it was a really boring movie.
It was. I could see that. It
but
could be boring.
But I did think that a lot of it, I didn't get a lot of cringe from it, honestly. The razor licking, that was a little like, to me, that's the pinnacle of the cringe for me. It was, at least. But I mean, I thought there were a lot of cool looking things in this movie.
The sets were amazing.
I think visually, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I think the shadow looks super dated and stupid.
But I think the whole movie was supposed to pay homage.
You're right.
It was supposed to
it was Peter Pan.
pay homage to the old Dracula movies.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to have some of that in there because those old Dracula movies were like that.
I could see that, but also like I was impressed by a lot of the effects. So, because a lot of the practical effects in the movie I thought were really good and like really haunting. Because when Nikki and I got done watching it, I was like, what year did this come out? And it's like, fuck, 1992. Some of that stuff looked really, really good. Like when you first see Dracula in like wolf form and like, not when you first see him, but, and he's like hunched over and he's got like those blue eyes. That's fucking creepy as shit,
It is.
man.
It
And
really
it's like,
is.
that's creepier to me. Maybe it's because I'm 42 years old, but it's creepier to me to see it that way as opposed to, oh, well, that's CG.
No,
You know?
the
It's
practical effects made the difference there. You're right.
and I think there's some really good practical effects. I mean, I agree. There is some cringe.
Well, speaking of, there was one more thing I wanted to add into my list. I forgot a section because I had too many spaces between the end of my list and the beginning of the next section.
Yeah.
TADPOG bingo card nominations go out to Anthony Hopkins as Van Helsing for saying something like, yeah, she was in great pain. Then we cut off her head, drove a stake through her heart and burned it, and then she found peace. Also to Dracula, also to Dracula himself, they say you are a man of good taste. For Lord Arthur Holmwood, played by Cary Elwes, Princess Bride fame. Last week he wanted to marry her. Now he wants to have her committed. And finally,
As they did back then.
take
That's
me
fine.
away from all this death. Winona Ryder is Mina.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw those on your bingo cards and smoke them.
Tom Waits as Renfield. I thought that was
Yes.
pretty. I thought that
Fuck
was
yes.
pretty awesome.
Fuck
Amazing.
yes.
Amazing.
I like Tom Waits.
I've seen Tom
He
Waits
went.
in 2 acting roles, and I thoroughly enjoyed them both.
What was the other?
It was the movie Heath Ledger's last movie,
Oh, okay.
where he's the devil.
The Devil?
The Devil?
The devil.
The Fruits of the Devil. I can't remember it now. It's not Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
I thought
is
it was, but it's not. It's got a weird title like that though.
Oh,
I
it's
just
something
I just
like
googled that,
Oh,
and it's a
okay.
different movie.
Okay.
But this is why I also thought it was that.
Okay. So,
But
but it was in that vein.
Yeah.
Okay, weird, surreal kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Heath Ledger shot half of the movie, so all the more surreal scenes, other actors that were his friends pick up the roles
Okay.
and play them to finish out the movie.
Tanya
Jude Law,
could
Johnny
have
Depp.
told you who it was, the name of it immediately.
I had to
She's
go
a
see it
huge
in the
fan.
theater because James Livingston was all about it. He loves Tom Waits. He would have saw it for Tom Waits. So, and I had no idea who Tom Waits was before James wanted me to see that movie.
Okay.
So,
Thought he was a good Renfield.
yeah.
Very good, Ren.
Absolutely,
I
he
like
was.
seeing him in the movie.
Master. Mm-hmm. It's good shit.
And yeah, man, I think there's some really good scenes in this movie, but I was super bored for a lot of it. I really was. I was like, struggling with a lot of it.
I think maybe they let a lot of the legend of the story tell itself, which didn't move the plot along fast enough, and it felt kind of disjointed at times, like, you know.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
There you go.
There we go.
I remember
Sounds
hearing
like
about that one.
another movie that, like, The Simpsons would have created, a title of a movie that The Simpsons would have come up with.
I don't regret watching the movie. I don't know if I would straight up recommend it, but it was, I mean, it was worth watching.
I agree.
It was worth watching.
It's one of those. It's like you're not gonna have as bad a time maybe as I thought.
It's an Oscar-winning movie, right? It won like 3 Oscars, I think.
Oh, did it? I can't remember.
No idea.
Because I thought I remembered where it was nominated for like a bunch and won like 3. But Melissa and I watched this, and I was my first play my freshman year of high school. I was in a play called 7 Brides of Dracula. And because I was in that play as Dr. Seward is the only reason I could even start to follow the plot of this movie. Because I do feel like it was super segmented, very hard to follow. The plots where it would drop you off and pick back up were big, vast in between. And Melissa was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, well, he does only because I did the play and know the basic premise that it's trying to follow. Could I even do anything? I rolled in really wanting to like it. I was like, oh, this is schlocky. Okay, I'm going to like it. But started off high and started to taper off and then caught back up a little bit and then tapered off. So I fall into, okay, I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I have this under my belt. It is worth, I think it's worth the experience. Melissa, of course, as a woman, the whole time was like, oh yeah, gotta have a random tit there. How much longer to another? Oh, yep, another random tit. Cool. Random, nonsensical tit just out there.
I don't think they're nonsensical at all. And once again, Winona Ryder in sheer nightgown, running down the steps.
I couldn't believe that.
Don't have a problem with that part. It's
Highly
what's her name? The redheaded girl.
redhead.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Highly recommend that scene. Just watch
I
it.
couldn't believe it.
I
really
couldn't either. I didn't even remember it. And I was like, dear God,
Yeah, I
Winona
couldn't believe it.
rocking that nightgown.
This is 4 years after Beetlejuice. 3 years, 4 years.
Something like that, I think. I can look that up, but I have other answers for you, Tyler.
Okay.
It won an Academy Award for Best Costume Design,
As it should. That's
Best
fair.
Makeup and Hairstyling,
Also fair.
and Best Sound Editing.
Okay.
And then it won the Saturn Award, which I didn't even know what a Saturn Award is, for Best Director for Francis Ford Coppola. Saturn Award for Best Costume
That's
Design.
his own foundation.
Probably. And Fotogramas de Plata for Best Foreign Film. So that was its list of awards. It won the awards that it should have won.
That's fair.
The Academy Awards, anyway.
I thought Gary Oldman as Dracula, while it was... I tried to find the fault in his portrayal. Because, like, wouldn't Dracula just be fucked up and crazy and weird? Wouldn't he be sort of, like, over the top, bombastic? So where, yeah, some of it was cringy, I also like, okay, this is a fair take for the most part. Why did Jonathan have to live? Why did he not just kill him?
Was it sadism?
He just wanted to torture him and let
That's what I
the
kinda-
rest of his brides torture him?
That's what I kind of assumed.
Okay.
Based on like their conversation when they were first talking, and he's like, "Oh, I see the resemblance between you and your ancestors." You know, he sounded like that.
Yeah.
I kind of got the vibe where I don't know if it's said or what, but I kind of got the vibe that Dracula was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna make your life fucking hell."
Right. And I think maybe he wanted to make sure that under no circumstances could this guy get in his way.
That's why I thought I'd just fucking kill him.
Right.
He's
But he's also
Mina wants to be with him. Just fucking kill him.
But he's also a
Be done with it.
sadistic motherfucker.
Yeah, I do think
You know, he's got to feed his other wives, his concubines, you know, and keeps them out of his hair while he's going after the one he
Get his
really
side pieces
wants.
busy.
Gets his side pieces.
Although, let's see. So they've definitely drained his life force and made an impact on him. How are we going to show that? Kenneru's hair is going to be gray. It's the only sign of age he's going to have because I'm gray in his hair.
It's a little more gray every 5 minutes, by the way. At one point, it looked almost white.
Yeah.
And that was in the same scene as
don't
like
wrinkle
earlier.
him. Don't make him skinnier. Just
Nah.
make his hair a little white. Because when you see him, like he's escaping and shit, and then like, oh, he and Mina are just like in a bar together, and they're talking, and his hair's just stylized and white.
I've seen some shit, all right? Back off.
Because what we were watching whenever Dracula set sail from his castle to where is it New York? Is where they're at? Where are they
London.
at?
They're in London, yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why I thought New York. So when they sail there,
Because the accents are.
yeah, you're right. Thank you. It's like Melissa was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I was like, "Okay, Melissa. So a vampire has to travel.
Yeah.
Here's what's. It's
has to
not
take-
said in any way at all why it has to happen like
Has
this."
to have dirt from his homeland in the boat.
Yeah.
Why is he walking in sunlight? I thought he couldn't walk in sunlight. To be honest, I thought that as well.
So I'm gonna
You've got me
He just
there.
looks pretty in sunlight. It's sort of a Twilight precursor.
No glitter this time.
because I didn't know the answer to this question and I was curious. I thought maybe we could unearth it on the show. I Googled, why doesn't Dracula kill John? And the answer I get back is Dracula didn't kill Jonathan Harker because he didn't want to.
Okay.
Well, all right. I suppose that is
Yeah.
definitely an answer.
I guess if he wanted to, he would have.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cora.
It was something I was going to mention.
Was it whenever Mina and her friend are walking in the garden, just like laughing and kind of teasing? And I was like, "Oh, didn't you and your girl cousins didn't you just play like this all the time?" Like, I guess before TV, that's all you really had if you were rich and didn't have to grind away in a mill. So you just wandered around the hedge maze and laughed at each other.
And then when it rained, oh boy.
Oh,
The
man.
shenanigans began.
Oh, this water's hilarious.
Once again,
You ever see the Kama
sheer
Sutra?
nightgowns.
They're scandalized by it.
I did that just last night.
No,
What,
you didn't.
Doggy style?
In my dreams.
It's one of those where it's
Yeah.
like, it really makes me wonder, like, you know, like that ain't. I didn't have to read the Kama Sutra to figure that out. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
It feels like it comes kind of naturally at some
right?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're proper English ladies. They don't think about such things. They don't know about such debauchery.
You're right.
Even
I
though
did
what's her
forget
name's
about that.
teasing 3 different dudes at the same time.
Nothing. Not gonna do it. Never
Tex with his
thought of
big
it.
Bowie knife.
Tex. You mean Wyatt Earp
And then
or Cassidy from Overwatch? I honestly believe that Cassidy from Overwatch was styled after the guy from Dracula. Might even be the same voice. I don't know.
That would be
and
great.
then a
Would
Dr.
be.
Seward who's addicted to morphine. Just that one random scene where he's shooting up.
No, he's got the
morphine.
tourniquet in his hand, in his mouth, his teeth. The thunderstorm is raging. They're hosing off all the inmates.
His
with a
asylum that looks like
high-pressure
Silent
hose.
Hill where they all have the cages
Yeah.
strapped to their head.
Yes.
It was
I
disturbing.
was the Pyramid had to drag his sword in the background behind
So
everybody.
is that like historically accurate? Can someone explain the cages, the cage hats? Because like it seems to me that you would do that to the prisoners, right? Not
Well,
the-
I feel like they could use that as a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like spear people. I don't know.
and
maybe.
then, but I say that, but the one guy who's not wearing them gets his fucking neck.
Yeah, see? You only make that mistake once.
Fuck! I should have worn my cage
I
hat.
left it at home. My wife was
My
supposed
saw
to,
trap.
My wife was supposed to oil it for me. And she did-
That's right. This is all her fault.
now I'm dead. Now I got neck problems.
Spent all night reading the damn Kama Sutra. Now I got my neck done fucking bit.
Brand new sentence.
It's never been uttered. Now my neck's all done got bit.
Because what does it Melissa say? Like whenever suddenly you see Dracula in London, he's like, is he cosplaying as Johnny Depp?
Oh my God. Or Jamiroquai. I don't know. It's just like, come on with the top hat. It's like he's got to have
and the glasses.
the tallest top hat and the tiniest glasses.
Yeah.
He looks like the lead singer of Counting Crows or something. I don't know. But
Right here.
yes. It's like, God, that's what I mean when I say it's so 90s because, you know,
Right.
we got fucking 4 non-blondes up here being a vampire. But that scene is like one of the things in the background they're screaming about, come see the CinemaScope. And they're talking about the motion picture cameras. And they go in to this exhibit of the motion picture camera playing its thing, and like just randomly on the wall there's like, you know, vintage porn, not vintage at that time, but naked women dancing around and
say
loving
this
up.
is downright
It's like-
modern.
And we've got these proper ladies, you know, standing around saying nothing. However, 10
Jack the
minutes
Ripper
ago,
will get the whores. We don't care.
10 minutes ago, we were giggling about the Kama Sutra. It's like this is moving. This is a recording of real life naked people.
Your
fucking.
kids are gonna love this.
Vampire Marty McFly.
And then the very weird way she pets that wolf afterward, like just just the way she was just, I don't know, I laughed at that for a
She's a
long
good
time.
person, I
It's like, don't you
guess.
just pet Bella like that? Just strange, gloved, like clawing at it.
The trainer was probably like, "No, when you pet him, you got to do it this way, or he will try to hump you.
You gotta act like you're strangling him so he's scared a little bit.
You got to dominate him, or else you're gonna be his bitch." Literally, Wolfie was a good boy. I thought that it was funny how the vampire, you know, just tamed the wolf. Because I always thought that wolves had a natural aversion to vampires and weren't gonna just, you know, lay down and take it. But
Yep.
yeah, this one was at his beck and call. Maybe
Yeah.
because he's also part wolf. That weird rape scene in the hedge maze,
Yeah.
where he's like in his wolfen, or is it a bat? I guess he's a bat, right?
Is he
It just-
a man bat?
I mean,
I don't know. It was a weird look.
Or is his demonic form?
Maybe because he has so
Or
many
he's raping
different.
her, and she's like, "Oh, I think he got some of his blood in my mouth."
It's not. It's not the blood in your mouth you need to be worried
it's a
about.
euphemism.
Yeah. I read it in the
In
Kama Sutra.
1992, they couldn't be a rated R movie and say, "You came in my pussy, Dracula."
Another
we
brand new
can
sentence.
we can clip that out. For the,
Give me the episode title. Apple's not gonna like it.
No, they're not gonna like it. But fuck, it'd be worth it. That's good shit.
she just got my pussy drank.
Shit, I thought you'd
Dracula's
pull
cream
out.
pie surprise.
They don't even have
Hey, I've
birth
seen
control
that.
yet.
Oh God.
They had birth control. It just
Crocodile dung.
wasn't pretty.
Moon tea.
Moonflower tea, yeah.
Oh boy.
And then what's her name's whole transformation as she slid, call in Van Helsing, figure out what's going on.
Did you
So I
guys
guess
like
he's
Anthony Hopkins as Van Helsing?
I did. I thought I liked his.
interesting.
It was interesting. I like his directness again with the line that he says. Did she find peace? Oh yeah, after we cut off her head and anointed her with holy water and burned her, then she found some peace. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she was in a great deal of pain. I like that. Very German of him.
Yeah.
That was a very German thing to say, and I think he did okay. I thought it was.
I didn't expect him to be the comic relief either.
No, I didn't either. Yeah, it was strange. And the scene where he's got Winona, when he's got Mia waiting for Dracula to get back to the
That was
castle.
weird. Yeah, don't you want
And
this?
she seduces him, and it was weird seeing Winona Ryder being seductive because that's not generally what she's known for. and I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about it. But the fact that she was seducing Anthony Hopkins at the time makes me feel not good.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
I get it. Yeah.
Don't you want me, Grandpa Monster? Come on.
Did you want me, Hannibal?
And then the scene, what was it? Whenever Jonathan finds the three brides and they're calling to him in the blankets and the blankets start moving and shit.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, okay, that's well done.
Yeah, I liked that.
And then Melissa was like, oh, I bet they're random tits. Oh, yep, random tits. Yeah.
That scene was weirdly reminiscent of a scene from another Keanu Reeves movie.
Speed.
No.
Point Break.
No. The one where he was in it with Al Pacino.
The
Devil's Advocate. Yeah, there was similar scenes in that. That, like the right above the bed scene. That was kind of a thing. It's a really memorable scene from that movie.
I wonder if we watched that. Is there a Devil's Advocate video game?
Yeah.
It would be like Phoenix Wright. Only with
I'd play that.
demons and vampires.
You play
shit.
you play the Mexican gangster trying to get back to his wife before the guy fucks her in the ass. What else about this movie? I guess I wish I would have liked to have seen a little bit more once the friend transformed, but makeup, costume design, great.
I liked her death scene.
Yeah, when
that was creepy as fuck.
I thought
she was
great.
she was a good vampire.
Totally. Better vampire than she was a human.
Yeah, agreed. She was like it was like that over the topness that she was doing early was now warranted.
Right.
Because she was a freakish lord of the undead concubine.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that scene a lot.
Well, we were all three trying to fuck her, and now she's dead, so let's just keep killing more shit together, fellas.
Now we're a team.
We're all Eskimo brothers that are in it. Let's go.
Yeah, I liked sort of the fight scene at the end when they storm the castle and they're about to do him. They're about to just end it, and she steps in. It's like no, and then he's like, Keanu's like, no, it's her. This is her job now. So vampire gonna die, and now she's gonna take over the castle. And he's like, I'm cool with this. This was her purpose, I guess.
I mean, we already everybody saw it, right? She drank that blood, so like it's game over.
So I'm like not married anymore, right? I can like go back to London and start fucking.
Just be an accountant again. It's fine.
Yeah. But I thought that scene was short. It was an abrupt ending to that movie. At least we had a better death scene from Gary Oldman than we've been getting in past movies.
That cross they store all the blood in.
Yeah.
Just full of it.
I liked his muscle body armor.
The muscle body armor, it was creepy.
And it's great because it's like, at that point, he is like whole on Christian.
Yeah. He's
he's
truly.
like, it's holy, right? This is like fucking muscle fibers. Yeah.
I mean, God gave us muscles, so
I
I'm
look
just
holy, right?
representing. I'm representing. The spiked helmet, the demon-esque spike helmet, I mean, that's okay, right? That's holy. That's pretty holy.
Even the impaling, I feel like the church is okay with. Because you got
it's
this,
in the name of God.
Shadow puppet scene in the beginning where Nikki was laughing because there's one guy who's like, it looks like fucking like Team America World Police, where there's like a guy on a pike going, "Ah! Ah!" It's like, just die, man. Like, he's flapping around.
You don't know my pain.
It's true. I've never been impaled like that, but I mean,
You look like an ass.
come on, knock it off.
Die with some dignity. Jesus.
Slide one. What are we gonna do? Let's go tell his girlfriend that he died before she can get there. It's gonna really piss him off. we know exactly where she is. Just throw an arrow up there like we're passing a note. It's gonna get him.
So all of that, the
ruin his
church is
day.
okay with, but then she throws herself in the river and kills herself, and they're like, sorry about that.
Suicide.
It's a mortal
go to
sin.
hell.
It is a big no-no. However,
Sorry about your dead fiance or wife, but good news, she is in hell for all of eternity because she killed herself.
Good job impaling all those heretics, however.
Actually, you earned a bonus for that today. More gold for you.
So because he denounced God, then so I guess I don't quite see the leap from that to vampire. Like Dracula 2000, Judas Iscariot being Dracula, I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. This I don't quite get so much. Besides, like, I guess Satan's like, all right, dog, you're on my team now, but stay up there. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's the whole vampire thing. You know, you just got to sort of take it with a grain of salt and being like, yep, okay, he's now a minion of the devil.
And then whenever the girl turned into a vampire, because Melissa was like, he didn't bite her. I was like, I think this is the one where you have to, it's like True Blood style. You have to drink the blood of the vampire. You have to do the inverse of the formula.
You get bit, and then you're like real sick and stuff. And if you don't drink, you die.
Yeah.
And if you do, you become a vampire.
I like the vampires in Dark Tower a lot better than the vampires in this movie.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, Pierre Callahan. Any more thoughts on the movie?
I don't think so. I think we've pretty well covered it.
All right, the game.
The video game.
The 1993 SNES action platformer, somewhat puzzler sort of thing. Ish.
Yeah, ish.
I suppose it fits all of those.
By Psygnosis.
That's what that
Lemmings people.
said, because I couldn't read it.
I think some people say Psygnosis. I don't know how you actually pronounce it. I've always said Psygnosis. I'm not an expert, but yeah, that's what I said in middle school.
Retro arch, retro arch. You know, it's tomato.
Yeah, this is a video game about the movie, kinda. You play as John, and
that's it.
You platform through small levels
that all look relatively the same.
Very similar. You start out with super tiny dagger.
Letter opener.
And then someone dreams up a sword for you.
Someone dreams a sword. That I believe is Van Helsing. I'm not positive.
Okay.
He swings his sword like you're using the hose to water your lawn.
He does. Yeah, it's super low. He swings low all the time.
Might need some dynamite.
Might need some dynamite. You do get some secondary weapons like dynamite and stakes that you can throw.
Rifle.
There's a rifle.
There are boss fights.
There are boss fights. They're not. I don't feel like they were designed very well, but they do exist.
Nope.
You fight Dracula.
You do
in
fight
his
Dracula
old man form.
surprisingly early. I didn't finish the game.
First level. Then it's a dragon.
Yeah, there's a giant suit of armor too.
And then the form of Counting Crow's Dracula form.
Yeah,
Dracula. Where he zips
Count
back
Is
and
that who
forth.
that
Count
was?
Depula.
I didn't
Count
know.
Depula, thanks. I like that, actually.
Because I was like, am I fighting Renfield? I don't know who I'm fighting. I really had no idea. It's a giant person.
Yeah, it's his top
bowler.
hat form of Dracula from the city scene in the movie.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Very
And also
stupid.
a boss battle where it's like, I feel like the epitome of poor design. I did not know how to beat this boss because he's super fast, takes up the entire screen, and touches you and kills you essentially.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I died like 4 times. I was like, what if I just take one step over to the left? Can he reach me? No.
Now you can
Now I'm
end it.
invincible.
Yeah.
It's like Shadow Link, where you crouch in the corner and he can't get you. You just slash your sword till he's dead.
Yeah. And then he goes from the hardest boss in the game to literally the easiest boss in
Yeah.
the game just by like stepping to the left once.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. It's really bad.
The boss
design.
fights did feel especially tacked on Even to the rest of the level, I didn't think the game was that great. But the boss fights felt especially strange.
Yeah, absolutely. They tacked on is a good way to put it. I do feel like I don't know the development history of this game, but it does feel like they showed it to somebody, and that somebody was like, "Oh, it's pretty short, dog. We put like bosses in it."
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. Like, oh, how about giant top hat Dracula? Okay, we'll do that, I guess, in a day.
Bipedal dragon? Okay.
Yeah, right.
What color? Beige.
Well, you do many color, it really hurts the resale value.
Yeah, exactly.
Costs more than sure a red dragon.
Right before, you never know you're getting into a boss fight until you're about to fall into it, and it pauses.
Yeah.
And you freeze in
Warning.
midair. It says beware.
Beware, that's
in
right.
tiny little freaky spidery script in the dead center of the screen at the top.
Like green jelly,
Beware.
Maximum Carnage, like a similar
Yeah.
font.
Yeah.
Beware.
Only tiny. And yeah, beware. Boss fight ahead.
No frames of like invincibility or
None.
knockback. So like you
Oh.
run into an enemy, you just dead.
You're dead. Which is why that dagger really sucks. The first level, I didn't finish this game, but like the first level is super harder than the second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah.
Up to the 10th. Because it's like,
Yeah.
Tyler's right. You get hit. There's like no frames of invulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
It's you get hit and you get caught. And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
my
'cause that
6 health potions.
Skeletal
are gone.
horse just like ran into me till I was dead. It was just
A dog. A fucking dog killed me.
Yeah.
Like very first go at this. I died to a dog.
Yeah,
rat-
because
the rats
despite
can
how
kill you pretty
low
easily.
Yeah.
he swings, you still have to squat down to hit the dogs. You got to jump to hit the bats.
Yeah.
I like the skeleton army. I feel like this game could have been Army of Darkness, the game, and no one would have known the difference.
I think there is an Army of Darkness game.
there is. It was sent to us and we didn't play it, so we had to send it back.
Is it a Super
forgot
Nintendo
about that.
game?
No.
No.
It's like what-
PlayStation.
is it
PlayStation 2 maybe?
Those skeleton warriors looked very much like the ones from Army of Darkness.
Yeah, good
and
call.
He looks like, Ash from Evil Dead. The sprites for John Harker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was very and yeah, the level design was garbage.
Yeah, I
liked how they had like an arrow that
telling
told you
where to go,
which way to
what
go. That was
direction to
handy.
go. Yeah, and it's not like straight up like telling you exactly where to go.
Just in the
it's
general
Yeah, that was
area,
nice.
yeah.
I agree.
The music was fine.
I thought
Yeah.
the sound was
There
okay.
any problem
Yeah,
with the
it's
music
fine.
or sound.
That weird sort of I'm dreaming up weapons for you thing, where you find Van Helsing or whoever.
I assume it
he
is.
just imagines a sword, and then you got to go back into the level to get it.
Right.
That was a dynamic, strangely enough, that we've seen before. It was in I had it. I didn't write it down because I figured I'd remember it.
In another Super Nintendo game?
Yes, it was. It was another cinematic platformer. Oh, it was RoboCop 3, where the weapon would appear on the few levels down after you like encounter somebody.
Yeah.
They would think of the weapon, or they would tell you that this is the weapon you want, and then you turn around and go all the way back down to the bottom of the level, and it would be there waiting for you. I thought that was a weird. It's weird that it happens at all. It's
Yeah.
weirder that it's been in 2 of the games that
lightning
we've
struck
covered.
twice.
Yeah, because before that I'd never seen it. Now I'd seen it twice.
Forgot about that.
So
Yeah,
weird.
here's what I thought about that. In Bram Stoker's Dracula, I thought they were just doing it to make the levels play longer because
Yeah.
they're really small. The
Yeah.
levels are really small, which on one hand is nice because you got to find stuff, and I don't really want to find stuff in a big level.
Right.
I mean, some people might. My personal preference, smaller the better. It's
Right.
great. But yeah,
Some
when
women
you-
prefer the smaller levels.
that's right. So I hear.
Sometimes it's just the right fit. You never know.
So that's what I
Big
felt
levels
like.
hurt. So put this in perspective a little bit with this game. That came out in 93. In 91, we got Super Castlevania 4. Which I feel like is sort of the preeminent action horror game on the system. And I feel like there are some moments where I feel like it's trying to emulate that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't feel like some of the ambiance, some of the like the ectoplasm door thing that's sort of reaching out to you. There's some kind of creepy things, but overall I feel like it fails to emulate Castlevania. Like,
Oh yeah, it doesn't come
At
nearly
all.
as close as it could have.
I mean, you can't give Harker a whip, clearly,
Right.
but
I like that there was a bunch of checkpoints that you could, because there were places where you were gonna die, and not a bad idea to have a checkpoint.
And they're obvious because you
Yeah.
have to
You have
activate
to hit 'em.
them.
And then I liked, however, at the beginning, however, you could pick how many lives you wanted and how hard, and the button mapping and stuff. So
Yep.
that was a nice addition. Just, hey, we're going to give you choice. That was nice. But
Yeah, I like that. I think that it's stupid that the health potions that track your HP are black
against the black background.
I mean, it's
yeah.
fucking crazy. It's
Yeah.
like make it like red or yellow, or
Any
like
color.
any
Literally
color
any color.
that I can see.
That's
Just some
not that
contrast.
color,
but they're
there's-
inkwells because he's an accountant.
And then there's so many times there's just like I have no idea what my health is because I can see a potion, but I
Right.
can't tell if there's. I can see a bottle. I can't tell if there's potion in it or
Right,
not.
right. Yeah, that was a terrible idea. And the load times between the levels were insanely long. It felt like it took a really long time for the levels to load up because each level it would show a page in a book.
Oh yeah.
But it would you would beat a boss and then it would go to black, and then just sort of like 3, maybe 4 or 5 seconds later, with nothing else on the screen, then it would finally load up and move on.
Dude, I like that book business though.
That was
I thought-
neat.
I thought it was
'Cause it, like,
cool.
zooms
It shows you
in.
the level on the page.
Yeah.
That might be some of the
Mode
best. Honestly, I think it might be some of the best Mode 7 I've seen on the system. Like
Yeah.
most creative use of Mode 7.
Sure.
To like transition you from an illustration in a book to the level. I thought that was neat.
That was a neat effect.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I remember this game was. I had forgotten about where I'd heard about it before, which it was kind of infamous on the Angry Video Game Nerd because he covered this very, very early on, and he beat it. And at the end, when it's doing the credits, there's a credit to a guy who it looks like his name is Fred Fucks.
Yeah. Even if you don't beat the game, when you game over, it rolls credits.
Yeah.
And yeah, I saw Fred Fox.
Fred Fucks. he's playing. He's like, okay, so Christopher Coppola and Fred Fucks. Who the hell is Fred Fucks?
It's pronounced Fuchs. It's Fuchs.
Yes, it is.
But in cursive.
But in cursive, so it looks like Fred Fuchs.
We said good things, bad things. Is there a point where it kind of lost you?
Yeah, it was pretty much immediately. I found it boring.
It is. That's probably the way to encapsulate it. It's kind of boring.
The levels were very repetitive. They were very similar. The boss battles weren't any fun. There was nothing that you had to do to be creative. It's just a hack and slash, get through.
There were a few Cat Mario moments where you would just like be walking and then just like a spear,
Oh man.
Yeah.
and then oh, there's a boulder.
And
Yeah.
some of the enemies in the later levels can move so fast. It was like they were running at you at triple speed,
Yeah.
and hitting them was a chore.
Yeah.
You were taking damage in this game no matter what.
Yeah, there's an area. Are you talking about the traps and the necessary damage?
Yes.
Like there's an area. I don't know how you're supposed to get by it, but there's an area where I encountered a hallway that had like these giant swords that would come out from the top and the bottom, and there's like
Yes.
6 total of them. I have no idea how you're supposed to get around them. Finally just got through them just by having full health and rushing.
I watched a long play, and that's how they did it too.
So I don't know.
And not even a speed run, like someone trying to actually do it right. Yeah, you just took a bunch of fuck ton of damage.
That's weird. I mean,
Yeah,
'Cause-
shitty.
yeah, it is. And I don't really, recall a lot of like easy ways to like get your health back.
You
Yeah,
can find an out of the way
occasionally.
potion sometimes, but
the extra lives were like hidden behind these
And those cracked me
ridiculously long hidden walls. Like you'd go through a wall where there's no indication, which I mean it's hidden.
Sure, it's
so,
hidden.
but you keep going left and left and left. And here we are in a tiny room with a little paper doll of
I know
yourself.
those crack me up because
Yeah,
they're
they were
like just tiny
bouncing.
versions of your sprite.
Yes, it is crazy.
Yeah. I did like how they handled Dracula's wives in the game. I thought it was annoying, but I also thought it was interesting that they included them in the game where it's like
That was a cool boss, actually. That was one of the better bosses.
where they just encircle
Yeah.
you and fly around. Yeah.
I mean, it was the most dynamic, I should say. I wouldn't say good, but it was at least more entertaining
Was
to
it
watch.
duck and swing?
It was like
or take a
jump
step
and
back and
slash
swing.
and just get. The thing is, you didn't have to kill all three of them. You hit any of the three, and the same health meter would just keep going down. So it wasn't any really more challenging than the other bosses.
There's just slightly more to it than
it's
everyone
just a little more
else.
to it.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any achievements?
I had a few. My first achievement is take me away from all this death. And to get take me away from all this death, give up and quit playing before even getting through the first level.
Hey, I've got that one too. I entitled it BS Dracula.
All right. My next achievement is John Harker 4, Parabellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. And to get this, you escape the castle without dying, fighting your way out, John Wick style. My last achievement is I'm thinking dynamite. And to get I'm thinking dynamite, claim all the weapons the guy dreams up. That's it.
I've only got two. One of which is BS Dracula, which is to quit playing the game at the first level.
Yeah.
And the second one is paying the Vincent Price. In order to unlock paying the Vincent Price, you just buy the game, complete in box.
Okay. Yeah.
Mint
Mint,
in card.
untouched,
all
in
the
plastic.
Words, I don't know. Frozen in card.
Graded.
Yeah.
Graded.
9.6.
Yeah. Verified.
I've got two. First one, stay out of it, Van Helsing. You've unlocked stay out of it, Van Helsing. When he dreams up the sword, fuck him. Walk in that room, the wall corridor behind him, leave the level. Fuck it. You got a dagger, you're fine.
Good. I don't need your stupid sword.
The other one is Fred fucks you. And Run Alive, Run continues. Game over. Fred
Right.
fucks you.
Okay.
You do get a cool death scene when you run out of continues. There's that. I say cool, but they show you a death scene.
You do get a death scene.
Yeah. Which is, I mean,
It's cool that they put in the effort death scene.
yeah. That exists. I wish there was some way of knowing how many continues you have, because at one point I was like, wait, they just let you continue all day, don't they? They don't.
Nope.
Eventually those run out.
Want to see what Flopsy has to say about it?
Yeah, what do you guys think Flopsy might say about Bram Stoker's Dracula? Are they kind to it?
Probably a little more kind than they should be, considering it was based on a hit movie. I'm going to say
Academy Award winning.
Academy Award winning. Makes the price go up. I'm going to say 3 stars and uncommon.
3 stars, uncommon. What do you think, Tyler?
2.5 stars. Common.
2.5 stars, common. I haven't seen this one yet in Flopsy, so I can play. I think that this game is not bad enough for them to really scale it. I agree with that 3-star rating. I think it's going to be common because it's a movie tie-in.
Okay.
That's the only reason, though. I mean,
The only reason I think uncommon is because it was a tie into a movie that was rated R
That's
and
true.
had lots of tits and blood. That
Makes sense.
A lot of
That's a good
children,
point.
a lot of younger players aren't
Fair
going to.
assessment.
And Signosis, I can imagine they wouldn't have as much money to throw around on a console game as Konami might.
Right.
So yeah, I could see it being uncommon. But I'm going to go with 3 stars common. According to Flopsy, aka the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a mysterious shadowy benefactor, they give Bram Stoker's Dracula 2.5 stars.
All right.
Availability common.
Tyler takes the
Tyler got
win
it.
on this
Chicken
one.
dinner.
There you go.
Got it in one.
The reviewer in Flopsy absolutely loved the movie version, so they were excited to play the game. Upon reaching the first boss, Dracula's carriage driver, I was confused to say the least. He was inexplicably gigantic. Yes.
They all were.
Yeah. I know big boss battles are cool, but come on. The majority of the boss fights had me questioning if Dracula and his minions had gotten a hold of Mario's super mushrooms. So, yeah. How much do you think you guys would pay for it?
Under the
Or
circumstances,
some people would pay for it on average. Not you guys specifically.
under the circumstances, I'd say $14.95.
$14.95. What do you think, Tyler?
$15.75.
Dirty.
$15.75.
Closest without going over.
Actual
$1.
retail value of Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Super Nintendo, used on average, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $10.25. Is it worth it?
Maybe to have in the collection.
A $10 bill for a collection piece. Okay.
Depends on the shipping. If you can't get free shipping, I'd say no.
That
fair.
reminds me, I have presents for the two of you. Please do not let me forget to give them to you.
All right.
I would like to give them to you. I finally have both of them.
Okay. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard, what beard would give and why?
A beard from you ravenously devouring a Bloody Mary. So you have red tomato juice spilling down like some sort of fake vampire beard because it's looks like something, but it's not quite the real thing, like this game was.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
I like it. If Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if glasses, which?
The very tiny nose spectacles of Count Dracula when he is in London, because just very, very tiny glasses just resting on his nose.
So small.
Because it's so small.
Purely decorative.
And he's an ancient, powerful vampire. They're very unnecessary. Much
Except
like this game.
He's just blending in, man.
It's like you're literally gonna burn up in the sunshine, man. You need bigger sunglasses than that. At least that's what I always thought.
Oh, Melissa and I started watching What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, that's
Speaking
good
of
shit.
vampires. That was very, so far, very much enjoyed.
Did you see Did you watch the movie first?
No.
Okay, the movie's fucking great.
Because she was like, okay, this is pretty, this is okay, until we get to the part where Paul Rubens comes back as his Buffy vampire character. Then she stood up and clapped. Okay, all right, changed my mind.
Amazing.
Let's see. Well, I know we've got a 2-day turnaround, so I think next week we're gonna do some all calls. Some no randomizer to get to.
Do we want to go ahead and figure out what game we'll do
What
next?
we'll do next? That might be a bad idea.
I have a request.
Okay.
From Captain Gun Nerd.
Okay.
He wants us to do the Hunt for Red October.
Okay.
And he wants to be on that episode.
Can he be on next Thursday? Because if he can,
I can
that's
ask
a weird
him.
question to ask you, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't-
get that a lot. Where's John?
Who are you, his
I'll s-
wife?
How about John and I sit across from each other at work, and he'll be not at his desk, and I will be working, and someone will walk up. Where's John? I don't fucking know. Well, I mean, y'all work together, and I don't know where John is. He got up and left his desk. He didn't tell me where he was going.
Why
So
are you
I don't-
asking me? Where's John? In the bathroom.
He's taking a shit, all right?
I didn't mean to take you to a bad place.
No. I can ask him.
I'm going to start texting you sporadically. Where's John?
Where's John? I can ask him tomorrow. when I
Message
see
you on the
him.
Discord randomly throughout the day, everybody. Where's John?
Now, if he cannot, do you want to have an alternative lined up?
Yeah. You want to randomize an alternative?
Let's do it.
Do we have the list, the movie list?
Do we want to make it a movie? Because then we'd have to watch a movie to prepare for him maybe not being here.
That is a good point.
So we just want to do a regular ass game?
Let's figure out if John's going to be here. And
We'll leave it. It'll be a surprise to everyone listening after the all call. 2 weeks from this Thursday. Or no. Well, I'm thinking of airtime. So, yes, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, on Spotify, not Stitcher, all over the goddamn place. Just put in TADPOG, not Tadpole, not Tap Dog, but TADPOG.
Google will still suggest those things, though.
It will. But it also suggested that one time I asked, why wasn't Jesse Spano in the Saved by the Bell movie? And it was like, did you mean, why wasn't Jesus in the Saved by the Bell movie? So sometimes Google's stupid.
Jesse Spano was not in the Saved by the Bell movie because she did not want to.
Yeah. But most importantly, there's that Patreon.
We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
And if you'd like to donate money, you can do so at that location. For as little as $1, you can have access to the list of bonus content. And if you continue donating that $1, eventually we'll put more up there. We have some ideas.
We're going to take all the Dark Tower talk that we've done so far,
And
extract it from those episodes,
Just loop it together.
and then piece it all together, which will actually take more time than actually
And then just
recording
recording
it fresh.
2 or 3
So that's-
episodes of that.
So that's something
Unless
to think
we
about.
ask Dane to do it.
That could be our AI. That could be our AI generated episode talking about the Dark Tower.
Okay, out of all of them to do AI, that might actually be the funniest,
It might. It might.
considering a lot of the subject matter. If it had to be voiced by Blaine the Mono, that would be
Oh my God! Yes.
great.
You're right, partner.
So there's that, and then we also have a list of executive producers. These are the fine folks that donate $20 or more per month to the show. And I'm gonna read that list right now, like I do every week, to show our gratitude. Starting with Usurper Grimm, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Enthusiast Jeff Miners, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, aka General G, Louisville Correspondent, Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage. Pinball Airplane Archmage, Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drinksmith Joy Webster, and Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you all so much for your exceedingly generous donations.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks to all of our donors and everyone that gives us money to allow us to keep doing this show because we love doing it, and it's cool to get rewarded for that. At least I think so.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm dying on that hill, I swear to God. And thanks again to Dane, once again, for putting all of our stuff up on YouTube every week so that the people that want to partake in it there can. And that is that.
And that's what I think about that. Our theme song is Moves Like More Drive. We do that track from the charts.com. How do you guys want to close it out?
As Keanu Reeves from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I already did that one. I'll do it again.
So until next time.
Budapest. Budapest.
I'm writing you to come marry me immediately over here at Dracula's castle.
Should be
Why
no
do you have to come
problem.
over here? I don't know.
But make sure you stop in Budapest. On the way. Budapest. TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it.
And now, by special request, the famed Tadpog number draft 1 through 10 for beloved Adam.
Beloved Adam gave us $50 to do this draft. So if you want us to do one of your drafts, give us $50. Then we'll
Yep.
do it.
Can confirm.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait, you can't pick all the numbers. You gotta wait your turn, motherfucker.
2, Dave.
Going with 7.
All right.
Lucky number 11.
9.
I have to claim 4. Dave, you know why. I had to claim 4.
I do, because you like cars
Yep.
versus tricycles and bicycles.
I'm all about that quad traction.
That's right. I'm going to go with 10. It's the highest number on the list, so
It's, it's the highest number.
that's a 10.
6.
Ooh. Oh,
I know. It's a hot take. What
you
do
could
what do
have got that
want
on
from me?
discount. You could have waited till 3rd to get 6. I'm going to go with something easily divisible and pick 5.
5.
5.
I like 5.
Like how Nicole has to have her friends list and multiples of 5.
Makes sense.
She will unfriend somebody if she wants to friend them. That would make her not a multiple of 5. Unfriend somebody to bring someone else in, so it's a multiple of 5.
Here I was thinking I was the only one with that problem of
Nope.
5s. I find it easier to deal with 5s than any other number.
19.
Not divisible by 5. I don't care.
Speaking of that, I'll go with 9.
I already picked it.
Yep. 9 is only 1, 2, 3, and 8 are available.
3. It's the magic number.
3.
8. I have an 8 on my arm.
You do.
A tattoo of an 8.
Well, then I will go with the oddball and pick 1.
What a weird number to pick.
And 2 remains. 2.
Poor 2.
Poor 2.
Is it because it's poop?
Maybe.
Could be. Who does number 2 work for?
Show that third who's boss.
All right, there you're welcome, beloved Adam.
Thanks for the
Thanks for the
$50.
We'll do your other one next.
Yeah, well, that means he
For-
sent,
This
for
is
that-
100.
For
He
that
sent
other
us 100.
$50 you gave us.
50 per
Right.
custom draft. So yeah, get in on that action. Patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com.
No, it's in addition to any donations you make.
Yeah. You have to add that on top of, if you're already a donor, you have to add that on top.
one-time-
It's like a bounty. You have to. It's separate.
It's like a bounty. It is.
Yeah.
It's a one-time thing.
It doesn't count towards your deductible.
That's right.
So
That's right.